Kyle is playing games, Lawrence is ready to ejaculate, Brandon is introduced, and we have a very special guest in studio, Marissa. This is what happens at the Abbey.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I know! This song is poppin'. We had to do
I know.
this.
It's on replay.
I know. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to AFTERBUZZ. This is what happens at the Abbey live. Hey, I am Sarah Serio, joined by my incredibly gorgeous panel who are about to introduce themselves to you. But you can follow me on Twitter at Sarah Serio, and for more fun, Snapchat and Instagram at @SSerio. And where can they find you?
Hey guys, this is Guinwa Zeineddine, and you can actually find all of my social links on my website, www.guinwaz.com.
You said that so well. Hey everybody, my name is Matt Marr. You can follow me at the Matt Marr on the socials, and you can follow my other two podcasts at mattmarr.tv.
And I'm Marissa.
Yay! We're so excited.
And you can find me across the board at Marissa Faith, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it, I'm on it.
We are so excited to have you, Marissa.
We are.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for
coming
being here.
on to the show. This night's episode was absolutely insane.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a good
I
little
loved
teaser
it.
So
you
much
did,
drama.
by the way.
I loved-
Like you
Thank
said the teaser, and I was like, I'm interested to watch this.
Thank you.
I just did it.
Thank you. Let's just start from the beginning.
Okay.
It's a very good place to start.
Let's start with the party. Marissa.
Yes.
The pool party.
The pool
The
party.
pool party. There were
The
so
pool
many
party.
parties.
Yeah, that is true.
There's
I'm
always so many
sorry.
parties.
The pool party at Ashley's house, which by the way was gorgeous.
It was gorgeous.
Like I wish I had that house
Yeah.
at this age.
I feel like people watching the show are going to say, does everyone just go to pool parties in Los Angeles? Because I'm like, no, we
not
don't.
the
We don't. But
Maybe for the Memorial Day weekend.
maybe for more of them.
But not all the time.
Yeah, her home was gorgeous.
Her home was absolutely gorgeous. Are those normal things that you guys do together as like a family and like working at the Abbey? Pool parties are just a regular?
I mean, pool parties are literally probably happening right now. Like every single day, there is a pool party.
I know.
We're always in our bathing suits. Either it's a rooftop lounging, at someone's house. You know, we do it up.
Wow,
And we love being in our bikinis. Everyone likes really being naked. I feel.
because
Well,
all you
everybody's
guys
really
look
pretty on the-
gorgeous.
I know.
So that's probably
I love the
why.
show, but I'm like, I'm putting down the Oreo.
I would definitely, I would definitely be the same way if I looked that way. But anywho, when you were at Ashley's house, how exactly did you feel when Kyle started to play some games with you? Like, did you know that he was playing these games?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's
mean,
why,
obviously.
Yeah, that's why I think I was so annoyed by it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, excuse me, sir, but I'm pretty sure it's
You
only
like
been
me.
like a minute.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now you're playing like these head games, and I knew that he was just doing it just to like, you know what? At
Get
the
back
end, we
at
weren't
you.
together. He doesn't owe me anything. But the fact that he was doing it so like blatant and like so in front of me, like throwing it in my face.
Yeah.
I was like, that's disrespectful.
Yes.
And it seemed like a switch, like, so in how long, because the episode before, like, you went over to his house and saw his dog, and, like, you
Coda.
mentioned the laptop and everything. Like, how long ago was it from that to, like, the pool party? Was it, like, a day or 2 days?
No, it was probably like a week.
That's
And
still
you
not
guys
a long
were, like,
time.
still
It's
in
like
contact
such a
and
switch.
Yeah,
stuff,
of course,
and
we
it
see
was
each other
all
at work all the time.
Yeah, so you're like, come on, I know your game.
Right. I was
Yeah.
like, settle down.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, when he did the whole game with trying to hit on Ashley in front of you, did you feel like you want to do the same thing maybe with Billy, or like did that thought ever cross your mind?
Oh.
Maybe I'm giving you an idea right
Okay,
now. I know.
well, I would say a little bit because then we went to the charity event, I was like, good thing I rolled up with Billy. But I don't know if you can tell in the episode, but
No,
I did.
I
go
did
with
not
Billy.
know that.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, at least I rolled up with Billy. But me and Billy
Yeah.
are so cool. Like, we're
Yeah.
just friends. Like,
Uh-huh.
there's nothing.
He's
There,
really sweet.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
seems like a really sweet
Doesn't
guy.
Right.
I call him Hercules because he looks like the animated
He's
Hercules.
huge.
No, but even
God.
his face looks like Hercules from the Disney movie.
Oh my gosh, it does.
It does.
You're so
Hercules was a hot
right.
cartoon character.
Hot one.
He
Hot one
was.
at that.
So you went to the party together. Was anybody thinking you and Billy were together? Okay.
Okay.
But actually, it's like, you know,
But wasn't Billy trying to hit on Ashley?
it's like a little confusing.
See,
Like, I felt
yeah.
like that a little bit. And then I felt like Kyle was like, no, Billy, like
She's not, yeah.
right, like he like called dibs on her, and I'm
Yeah.
like, ooh, I'd hate to be Ashley right now.
So I'm gonna call you out a little bit
Call
because
me out.
I want to know, like,
Okay, I can handle it.
the truth talk.
Yeah.
What is or was going on between you and I'm calling him laptop guy.
Oh my
I
gosh,
don't know anything.
Johnny.
Johnny laptop
I was
guy.
gonna ask
So
the same thing. Good.
what was happening there? Were y'all together? Like, were you?
We were
Yeah.
really like, we really weren't together. It was like back and forth, and I think like maybe some people can relate. Like you break up with somebody, but you still kind of like talk to them.
No, absolutely.
You know, tag them on Instagram on a funny meme. You know, so it was like
You.
an awkward. Like we knew it was like fizzling out. Me and Johnny did.
And how long were you together?
8 years.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
a long
he's your high school
time.
sweetheart.
We were like, yeah,
So,
my high school
okay.
sweetheart.
It's very hard to just like make a
It
clean
was.
break of something.
And
like
now I'm
that.
like, here I am in LA, like pursuing my dream.
Yeah.
Like, am I doing the right thing? Like,
Sure.
you know, I don't know. Like, I felt guilty in some sense that okay, I'm choosing a dream over like someone who like loves and cares about me back home. But this is like so in me, and I feel like I'll have so much resentment if I don't follow through.
No, yeah.
Now like Kyle's in the mix, and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
But do you still love Johnny, or is it more the fact that you're used to him because you've been with him for 8 years?
Ooh, good question.
I mean, I think that me and Johnny, because we were just together so long, we definitely have a deep, like, I think, care and love for each other that I think we have, like, a special bond because we did, like, a lot of growing up together. But as far as moving forward, I think in some sense we really just grew apart, and I have different values and he has different values at the moment.
Sure.
And it just wasn't working out.
Yeah.
What about?
I just couldn't say I respect the fact that you told him that he gave you a laptop, because I feel like in some senses most girls may not say something and then the guy finds out and it's like, oh, that's a little
I
weird.
agree.
But
You gotta be
just,
honest.
you
That's
just
true, but
flat
did you
out
Most
tell
told
truthful
him?
person on the show.
So,
I
like,
have to be honest.
I
You're
mean,
very
he
truthful.
could have been like hated you or like been like, hey, it's okay, but you told him and you weren't hiding anything from him. So
No.
like, I respect that you told him.
Well, I'm not gonna play games with him.
Yeah.
Like, I have my
Yeah.
own issues
No.
going on.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so I can't keep track.
Yeah.
So I respect that you did that out of the whole situation that
Any
happened.
part of you though wanted to make him jealous? Like, was that kind of one of the reasons why you wanted to tell Kyle? Or
No, and honestly,
It's
I was
just
just being
honest.
No, I was just honest. Like, okay,
Okay.
I'm like, oh no, soon. He's like, and then like Kyle was like confused, like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, I got it as a gift, so I don't really know how to use it. And then
I don't feel like you're that person to make people
I
jealous.
wasn't trying.
I don't
No,
feel like you're
I
that
really
way.
wasn't. I was
Telling
just
him.
being honest. Because honestly, let's
Yeah.
say me and Kyle, let's just say hypothetically, like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say any details.
Well, we
Okay.
see the
We
trailer.
got married. Okay, well, he's gonna find out that that wasn't
I
a
know.
laptop I bought. You
Yeah.
know what I
Sure.
mean? Like, he's gonna find
true,
out.
true. Okay.
Yeah, so I respect that.
Me
What
too.
about
the
your
whole
mom?
situation.
By the way, I love your mother.
I love your mom too.
Oh my god, I love the way I can't
her
even
too.
talk when she talks. She's like, "Oh, I can't look at you when I go to the airport." And I was like, "That is so." Like honestly, because I'm from the South, so like I was like, "Oh my gosh," she reminded me of like the mom from The Nanny, who I loved as well.
my
You know what I mean? Like I'm obsessed
Yeah.
with your. So what about your mom? Is she Team Kyle or Team Johnny?
Ooh.
Yeah, I think about
Matt,
it.
look at
Think
you.
about it.
Okay, I think she's team me.
Oh, good answer.
that's a good
That is
one.
true.
Team me, but I mean, I think that she had respect, like for whatever I was going to do.
Yeah.
What is she gonna do? Like,
Yeah, she can't. She just has
she
to
can't tell
see
me
you,
who I'm
like,
gonna
grow.
marry. Like,
Yeah, and
she
what
was
was
like, I couldn't barely leave the house. Like,
I
Mom, you know.
know.
What was that like for you too? I mean, do you just feel like crap when she went to the airport, or is it like? Does that make you feel bad, or are you used to it? Like that's my mom. She's gonna, or because
No,
that seems
I
like
felt
that was
really,
really hard.
bad. Like I
Yeah.
felt so sad inside, and truthfully, like at that moment, I didn't want my mom to leave. Like I was so scared and I was so nervous, and I didn't want my mom to leave. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know if this was gonna work out for me or not, and I didn't want my mom to leave. But I felt like it was interesting because I felt like I had to like be strong for my mom and be like, Mom, like I got this. Like even in my mind, I was like, I don't got this. Like I don't know what's
I don't know
gonna
what I'm
happen.
doing.
I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm doing. But I, was like, I felt like I had to like reassure her, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be okay. Like I don't know. So I feel like the roles kind of like switched at that point.
It's weird, like when you realize you have to be the adult sometimes with your
Yeah.
parent. It's like a weird, like sad growing up thing. I just got sad. I'm sorry. We can talk about it.
Okay. But can I ask one more thing about the party? How did you feel when you saw Kyle kiss Ashley?
I felt like a slap in the face, and you know what? I don't want to be with Kyle. F that, because I'm not into those games. I'm not into someone who's gonna like throw that into my face.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be kidding me right now. You're a grown ass man. You gotta act like
I just-
more grown
yeah.
ass.
You played it off really well,
Yes.
though.
You
like
were
you
just
gave
like-
that
Could've
vibe.
been,
Like,
like,
you know what?
I'm
I don't
leaving.
give a.
No, because like at that point we're not really invested
Yeah.
in each other. So I was like, you know what?
And also,
Yeah.
you're like,
You're a loss.
I mean, talk about the strength of what you did in that. You're kind of like, I just left my boyfriend, laptop man, Johnny. laptop Johnny.
man.
That sounds dirty. I didn't mean it that way.
Johnny.
But I just left him of 8 years. And so, like, I met you 2 weeks ago. You're already playing games. Like, girl, I don't have time.
I didn't have time.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, that's how you were.
I was like,
And
I have my own mental things going on.
Yeah.
I can't put that on.
yeah, I
was like,
just, Kyle and
know.
Ashley cracks me up. I'm sorry. Last episode when she was like, "I'm really trying not to be a Beverly Hills person anymore. I want to make my parents proud with my truffle business."
With her truffle
I was like,
business.
"That is the most white privilege thing I've ever heard in my life." I love her, but I was like, "Girl."
No, and the whole laptop thing when she was in the room with Kyle and she was
Yeah.
showing him how she draws on the laptop, like.
Oh my gosh, yes. Are you an aggressive text? Like, are you guys, I need to know this. Are you guys those people that, like, you'll text someone, maybe, like, a guy or a girl or whatever, and they don't respond within, like, we'll give them an hour. Are you one to, like, resend that text?
Oh, no. I'll
or,
get
like,
mad.
say question mark,
What do you
question
do?
mark,
No,
question mark?
No.
if I know you, like I'll text you 15 times in a row and be like, "Where are you?" Like, no shame, like I don't care.
Yeah.
If we don't know each other, like you're not gonna text me back.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can't.
I keep it cool.
Yeah, you gotta keep.
What
it
about
cool.
you?
Oh, no, I don't do it. I don't understand the people that do the whole question mark thing. But, like,
Me
no, if I
too.
know them, obviously, I'll probably just
Right.
call them.
I mean,
Right.
So many times.
You're like, I am trying to get in touch
Yeah.
with you, but if you don't know them, that's
But if
weird.
I don't
it's
know
annoying.
them, I'm
It
not
is.
gonna, like,
And it's
keep
annoying.
asking them. No,
I
not
think
at
the
all.
only people that I've sent like 20,000 text messages that same hour if they don't answer are my siblings. Like that's it, because
Okay,
they're my
yeah.
sisters.
Yeah.
But
I think it's like
I do
that.
that to my
That's
brother.
best
Best
friend.
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Ashley, like, I mean, again, I feel like what was just kind of, to me, just kind of gross about that is that they both don't care about, they both, I think, honestly, like, I'm interested to see, like, if Ashley's going to come for you later on down the season. Like,
Oh, I
which-
hope she does
because
it.
I think that was totally a game thing on her part. I don't think she's really into Kyle. Like, even
Well,
though-
she doesn't-
She doesn't
Yeah.
work at the
Like-
Abbey, does she?
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
see,
she's
that's,
not
I'm
even,
very
like-
thorough. I'm, like, very thorough. with
even
her.
their talk was awkward.
Because I'm like,
it was,
oh.
It was like that awkward talk. You know when you're in 7th grade and you're like, hey, you have a phone. That's white. And you're like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't even like substantial. You know, he's like, is this your
Yeah.
iPad? I was like, okay. Like, and he was like, say it and then look over at you. I'm just, he's a man child. He's got a really nice chest, but he's a man child.
Yeah.
A
Well,
little.
thank goodness that they weren't at the naked yoga session because I was not about them
Funny.
and not needing them. But let's talk about that because would you guys first of all, I didn't know Yoga Works did a naked yoga
Yeah, I didn't
session.
know that.
I've never
But
heard
if
of
you
that.
guys would like to send us like some free passes, we would greatly appreciate it and we'll film it, okay? Anywho, would you guys do a naked, like, why weren't you a part of it? Would you have done
A naked yoga, maybe.
naked yoga? I, honest
I
to
don't
God,
know.
didn't know.
Would you have? I think
I
I was
don't think
conservative.
so.
I kind of think like
I
don't
you're-
think I would.
I would do it in an intimate situation, like if it was me and my boyfriend.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Me and my, like, best girlfriend.
I couldn't do my best girlfriend. That's
No?
freaking weird. That's too
Yeah,
up and personal.
yeah.
That's too close. I'm like, I can't.
I don't
can't
know.
do
that.
that.
That instructor, he went, like, spread eagle on these
It
people.
was- And
like,
look?
like, too
I mean-
much. And first of all, like, it was Murray and Corey, right?
Yes.
They
Yes.
went. And if it was, like, my significant other, that whole, like, situation would just turn me on, maybe, or just get
Oh,
me too excited.
okay.
So
Oh,
it's
maybe.
like, is that just
And so
me?
we know your thing. You know your thing, girl.
No,
All right.
Like, that's not what I meant, but I mean, like, I just feel like, I don't know.
I don't
Sarah,
like it. It's
kinky
like the
yoga.
sauna in
That's
the
just
gym. Like, I can't
I don't get
do it.
that.
Me
When guys like go,
neither.
they're like, oh my God, the steam room. I'm like,
No.
I'm hot. I'm sweaty. Like, I just feel like I'm going to throw up. And no,
Yeah,
I don't
no.
want, don't touch me.
Oh
don't.
my gosh.
No, my boyfriend would not be in the naked yoga
No,
at all.
honest to God, mine probably wouldn't be either. So I don't know what I'm talking
I don't
about.
think
But-
I
I'll
would
have to
do
do this
that.
alone.
That, you know the yoga where you do it together though, like the.
Oh yes, it's like been on The Bachelor or something.
Yes, I would do that.
I know what you're talking
would be
about.
fun.
It's like
Where
you do it
breathe,
together.
You like, is that what you're talking about?
No, it's like when you do the tricks together. Like you do yoga, partner yoga.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah,
involve
yeah.
being naked.
No,
No,
naked.
no.
I want
No.
clothes on.
Okay.
Kim, it was Kim, right? Kim's
Kim.
face was amazing, though, whenever
And
they had no-
Chelsea,
they were
she was
just
so
like,
funny.
I agree.
Chelsea
What
still
is happening?
had all her clothes on regardless.
Had all the
Kim
clothes.
took her shorts off, so she tried to participate.
tried.
just a little bit.
She 50%.
yeah.
yeah.
But
Murray,
man,
Corey?
those people
I
in the
know.
back though, they were like, yes.
They were
They were
doing it.
serious.
They were doing
like,
it.
They were like, we're taking
I
our
would just
clothes
be
off.
afraid like I would be doing downward dog and I would like fart. You know what I mean?
gosh,
Like,
I know.
I would
There's
just-
some
wouldn't
like
wanna be behind
security
you.
with
Yeah.
having your clothes on
Yeah,
that you
there's
just
not.
feel
There
like.
is security.
no,
you're,
yeah,
like, in.
no, not for me. Not
But
for me.
speaking of Kim, how do you guys feel about Kim and Elizabeth, like their whole relationship and what they have going on? Like, I mean, Kim, from what she expressed, is she's one that goes like 0 to 60 when she's like really wanting to pursue someone and like be in a relationship. And I, honest to God, think that's how she acted a little bit with Elizabeth for being like just so brand new to this whole new world that she like may think that she knows, but probably doesn't know as much as like Elizabeth. So what do you think? Do you think
I think
like,
that, maybe she is leaning towards that side, like she's feeling Elizabeth, but a big part of me feels like she probably felt guilty with the way she was talking to Elizabeth and how she told her, oh, I just kissed you because I was drunk. And that guilt made her want to announce that her and Elizabeth are a couple at the
Yeah.
red carpet just to kind of make up for
I
it.
know that was so
Yeah.
that
I
was
think that
so
Kim
intense.
just considering, she says that, oh, I'm a straight girl.
Yeah.
I think she just doesn't really know. Like, I think she's being very
confused.
naive to the situation and not realizing that it's really hurting her best friend Elizabeth.
I know, because
Like,
they
I don't
are
think
best friends.
Right.
So
I don't
it's
really
like,
think.
ooh.
Like, I don't think she meant it I don't think she meant to be malicious. But I think she was just like really naive, and she should have like zoomed in on that a lot faster
Yeah.
and not have played games like that.
Yeah.
I think you hit it on the head though. I don't even think she realizes
No.
she's playing games. I mean,
Yeah.
so I mean, like for me, like I am gay. Hello, if you didn't know that. But I'm also a therapist, so I've like counseled a lot of like LGBT people, like in coming out and all that. And it's like I love that Kim's going through this process for other people to watch around the country and the world because I think they're going to relate to that. And at the same time, I feel for her because it's such a private, personal thing, and you don't know, you think you know where you are, and then the next day it changes.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
and so she's gonna get just that judgment from people like on Twitter and stuff, I'm sure. But also too, it's like the fact that she's involving somebody else, Elizabeth, who we're gonna get to this later, I'm sure, who's maybe not the most mentally stable person. When it comes to these things. So I mean, it's just
I love them both, but I think Kim was really like not taking full full consideration for Elizabeth.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Kim's kind of a hot
Sure.
mess too.
Oh my gosh, I
mean,
know. We can talk about Lawrence's event. We can jump there for this.
Well, no, but I mean,
IMU
just like
event.
even like in other stuff, because isn't Kim the one who like Kim has a psychic, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Kim has a psychic, and she talks about I want to do like inspirational self-help stuff, and then like I see your life, I'm like, girl, your life is a hot mess. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't even mean
Discovering
like
it.
yeah, she's just I'm like, girl, you need to live your truth, but not get other people involved.
Yeah.
Do you guys think it's going to last between her and Elizabeth?
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's very tricky. I'm not against it, but I just don't know because they're best friends. It's just like that's just such a sticky situation.
I'm gonna say a big full no.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with you on
It's
that.
just like,
Yeah.
and then you add like her seeing these feelings come to play. I'm excited to see it unfold. Like if that's a bad thing to say,
Yeah.
but I just don't know. I'm just
You
not
can't.
I can't
You
say
know.
it.
You know anything.
I know all the answers.
I'm
So-
it's okay.
I do want to ask kind of like a meta question in that. So we watched the show with you tonight, and it was very difficult, everybody at home, because we're like, I wasn't looking at Marissa, because something happened, I'd be like, oh, like Kyle's like making out. And so what was just like, because y'all have taped the whole show, right? It's done.
it's
Okay.
done.
So like you're wherever place that you are now, what was it like for you, and with all these, what's it like for you to see it again? Like, are you happy with the way you presented yourself so far, or are you like, oh, I wish I would have done that, or what would you have done differently in this episode, I guess, if anything?
Honestly, I don't think I would have done anything differently. I
Good for
feel
you.
like even watching it back,
Yeah.
like I feel like first of all, like as far as Elizabeth's situation go, in the moment, I truly didn't know that she, had a deeper demon. Like, how would I have known that? And I didn't. And I guess it's just like, you know what? You don't really know what people are going through in life, so you should just be kind and like be compassionate. And not that I wasn't compassionate towards it, but I just didn't understand it. Like, I'm like, why is she freaking out so much? So as far as my behavior goes, I feel like when I watch it back, it's kind of like a deja vu. Like, I lived it already. I know what's going to happen. I know the dynamics. And when I see my facial reactions, I still have those same facial reactions. Same ones. I'm like, yes. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's the same exact.
You're like,
my
oh,
same
Kyle.
reaction. Right. So I don't know. I don't think I would do it as of right this second, episode 3. So far, I would not have done anything differently.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
that's
you
a
were
good
very
feeling.
genuine in this episode, so
Yeah.
and you always are.
You're
Yeah.
very genuine in life. I honestly, I'm not saying this. I'm not kissing your butt. Like, I thought of this after, like, watching the first 2 episodes. I think you're, like, and maybe this is, like, old grandpa who's lived in L.A. for, like, 13 years. But I'm like, you're a light. You really do have a light about you.
Yeah.
And some people do on this show. Some people don't. And,
really wanna know who you're talking
sorry,
about.
I'm throwing
Yeah.
the
I
tea.
wanna know
I'm
who
throwing
you're
the
Can
tea.
you let us know?
Matt, like, who? Are we going to get there? We're going to get there.
Well, I'm saying
Okay.
some people maybe later that we're going to see the show, I don't think necessarily pass a light. And some of them might even be people you were hugging at a party that I don't think are good enough for you. But I just, that's my advice for you.
There we
Like,
go.
as you go in LA, like, just like make sure no one takes your light because you really like have this genuine
Matt.
no, I think you're like a really good person.
Thank you. I
Bec-
really appreciate
yeah, because you know you watch
That's
you do these shows and you're like,
sweet.
oh, are people gonna? They really
Check it
in
out.
reality TV, they a lot of times want people. Producers are trying to get people to act like terrible and stuff like that. And I love that through all this process, like what you just said. I wouldn't do anything differently. Like you have like this great humanity. And I'm
Aw,
done.
thank you.
That was really
Sorry.
sweet.
That was
So
so
really
sweet,
sweet.
so
I'm sorry.
inspirational. We just
It's
need to
hard.
Me and
take
Sarah
a
Lee
moment.
feel left out right now.
No, I know. We're like, oh my
Sorry.
God,
I just
Matt.
got real gay wide open. I'm sorry. I'm done.
Give us some hope. It is hard to stay true to yourself.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
for anybody.
Yeah.
It is hard.
And not get pulled into the
Especially in
drama.
this industry,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about
Fundraising.
Lawrence's event,
Yes.
the IMU event.
First of all, Lauren, by the way, Lawrence has a light. I love him. I wanna-
Yeah, Lawrence
I want to cuddle with him.
Yeah.
I'm a little in
Yeah.
love with him.
I
kind of would
I'm
have to say
You want to
that.
be with
excited.
him,
Yeah.
I'm excited for him and Brandy. I really, really am.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
It's
but
so
let-
They're
great.
a lot of fun together, too.
They seem it,
Yeah.
and it's just I'm excited for them.
That sassy Southern medical nurse, she brought in my Aunt Peggy. Like, when Aunt Peggy, I have a headache. She's like, honey, I got a muscle relaxer. What you need? I got gay porn. I got it. I loved her.
What's her name, Betsy?
I think her
love-
was Betsy. I loved
don't
her.
remember, but she was so funny.
hope it
was.
She was like, "Oh yeah, let me go to the closet in the
I
back."
know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they had to open the vault, like they said in that
Yeah,
episode.
that's funny.
It was so funny.
But how much more can you love Lawrence? Like, he's like doing a charity event.
Yeah, he's
I'm like, stop making me
genuinely-
love you
He
more.
seems really, really sweet. That made me feel so bad for all the fights that happened at his event. But so this is just my question. Do you think that Kyle put his foot in his mouth, or it was just like totally taken like out of context, like what he had to say?
So we're talking about the ass grab?
The ass
butt
grab.
Can we
Yes.
say ass? I just
Yeah,
said
we-
it.
yeah,
Okay,
it's fine.
that's
So like, go for it.
I think so. The whole Elizabeth and Kyle situation,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, I think the comment that Kyle said was a little inappropriate, but I felt for a second like it was taken out of proportion. I
Me
mean,
too. Me
the way
too.
that Elizabeth acted, I mean,
Yes.
guys say things like that. Like I've heard things like that where guys tend to compare girls and things like that, which I'm not saying it's appropriate. I think Kyle can be a little disrespectful towards women sometimes and just talks to them like they're objects. But after hearing Elizabeth's story outside when she broke down, and
Right.
I really felt so bad. And the thing is with Elizabeth, I think her personality is very polarizing. Like you can either really love her or
That
you're
is on
not
point.
really good. Yeah, and
She's,
or
like,
you might
very
not.
strong.
Exactly. So after seeing that part of her, like seeing her break down, I don't know. I really liked her. Like I'm like I
No,
understand.
I wrote that down. Like I'm really starting to like Elizabeth after that, because I feel like once she starts to break down those walls is when you start to see her, and then like tough
Exactly.
exterior. Like I totally understand it and I get it, but I feel like we need to see that softer side to understand why she is so tough and like
defensive.
to then
Yeah.
like understand where she's coming from.
I do understand where she's coming from, and I felt for her. Sorry, I'm gonna be devil's advocate here.
know.
Because
I see you.
Just because, well, first when it was first going on, like a very wise drag queen once told me, she said, "Well, dealing with it, just tell people to cancel my subscription that I don't need your issues." And so that was kind of. But then when I found out what her issues were, I was like, "This is huge. You were dealing with bulimia." But it's like, but is that? Did Kyle know that? Like,
No.
does he know that? You know what I mean? And
Yes.
so it's like, it's not what she was feeling, it's how she expressed it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was not.
And I think that she did address it, saying that, like, oh, well, I didn't, I know Kyle doesn't know where I'm coming from, but it just, like, really, like, triggered something in me. Because I
Yeah.
don't really think Kyle
And I think when she had said that to
intentionally
Kyle.
meant to
No.
make her, like, go
Yeah.
so extreme and so upset. I
So,
don't
yeah,
think
he
really
didn't know,
meant
right?
that. No.
So nobody knew that
Nobody
about
knew
her.
until that
Yeah.
evening.
And I
Okay.
didn't think Kyle thought it was a big deal because he's like, I'm talking like you're a lesbian. Like clearly you're not into me. So for me to say like your ass is not worth grabbing is not really a big deal. Like why are you getting mad
Yes.
when like
Yeah.
clearly
I think I should be the one getting mad.
I should have been the
I'm
one
just
getting
saying,
mad.
I'm like, you're grabbing
And
kisses,
girl,
you're in the bed with Ashley.
You
I'm
played
like,
that
how can I
up
not
all
to you?
night. You played that. It was
I
amazing.
know, I loved it so
It was
much.
great.
I also feel like maybe because like he did it to Kim, and then Elizabeth is like, hey, like that's my girl, or like whatever they're trying. It just like
I mean, he's
I
called
think it
women
just went
pizza.
from
I'm not
innocence
defending
to
Kyle.
like World War III, and it
Yeah.
was just like a simple. But that happens with emotions, and when you've been drinking, it's like you can just like blow up.
But they were
And I
both
just
still
feel like-
inconsiderate though.
Yeah.
Like it's a charity event. Like for the love
Yeah.
of Lawrence, just get yourself
know.
together.
Yeah.
I
Like
actually feel
calm
like,
down.
I feel like Kyle, honestly, at first was now when he like yelled and cussed at her in her face, then it was like down no class
Yeah.
road. But before that, he was saying like, "I don't want to talk to you right now." Like,
Yeah.
I actually
Yeah,
thought he
that
was
is
being.
true.
Yeah,
And I feel like
yeah,
she
he
should
was
have
trying
backed.
to, like, move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, and she should have backed
think
off
it-
and respected that, because that just like
It was
when you
inappropriate.
force yourself, it just it clearly
It
added
did.
so
It-
much
yeah.
more.
you're going down that like wormhole, you know, where
Yeah.
you're just like, and Elizabeth. The thing that I have with Elizabeth, and we'll talk about this with Kim, but I don't know. I need to see Elizabeth think more of others, and I'm sure you saw that because you
Yeah.
work. But I haven't seen that a lot on
That's
this
true.
show. She gets like, and I
True,
get it.
yeah.
She gets like she gets hurt, and all she's thinking about is her experience, which I
Yeah.
get because she's been through a lot of stuff. But we're gonna find out, like, you know,
I
look at the way
can't
Lawrence.
I
treats
know. I
people.
feel like we're gonna see.
You're gonna see.
Like Lawrence talked about that like with his mom and his dad and divorce,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean he treats people disrespectfully
I
because they
know.
trigger him.
I feel like we're gonna see Elizabeth's like reason why she is. The
And
way
I think
she
the
is.
way that she reacted, I could tell she's a very passionate person. Like if
Yeah.
she's not passionate, she wouldn't have that much emotions to show that she really cared about what Kyle
Mm-hmm.
said. So
So I'm
I do think though for Kim, I'm like, girl, like Oprah says, like when you're sorry, I watch a lot of Oprah. I do.
I
I love her.
know. I love it.
Queen, my queen. But she always talks about the universe gives you like little lessons, and she's like,
Yes.
first the universe will whisper, and then it'll tap you on your shoulder, and then it'll be like, hey girl, then it'll slap you, and then it will yell in your face. And I'm like, all I was thinking of this, I was like, Kim, girl, like this is the universe saying,
No.
take care of yourself, don't enter in this relationship with her. It's not gonna go
Yeah, I
well.
think Kim needs to take a second,
Yeah.
but I'm excited to see Elizabeth.
I mean, I
Oh,
haven't been
it's gonna be good. I'm gonna be with popcorn.
Oh, I know it's gonna be so great. But let's talk about the other relationship that may be a little crazy as well.
There's a lot of like.
I know.
Corey and Murray.
Murray.
This was the most disrespectful charity party ever.
I know. I felt
Poor Lauren.
Were,
so
we,
bad.
were you just like so confused because you weren't really in
Or
any
did
of
you
it?
like try to stay out of? Were you just like
I
I,
wasn't
just
really
can't?
affected by it, but it was just like a whirlwind
I
around me. And I'm
know.
like,
So much was
I don't,
happening.
like actually, Lawrence texted me today. He had a screenshot of my face in the like in the background. I was like, Lawrence, I was like, I didn't know what to do.
I know.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I think the best thing is to stay out of it all. Well,
Oh, right. I was just like,
or just
I
I
tried
don't-
my best.
yeah, I don't know. But let's talk about Corey and Murray.
Okay.
I don't really know. Like I just don't really know the question. To
If you're
follow
listening
up.
to the podcast and not seeing it, like she just made this
Who do you
face like.
think is guilty?
Like, okay, do you think that Corey? Okay,
Spit it out,
when
girl.
Murray is just talking to a guy, do you think Corey is thinking maybe a little bit too much as like that's flirting when honestly they're just like having a conversation? Like, do you think he's envisioning something in his head that is not true at all? I have so much to say, but that's really the first thing that I can think of.
That scene when Corey was like, okay, me and him had a conversation, we worked things out, we went, to yoga together, and
Yes.
now he's flirting with a guy. I did not see him really flirting
and then
in that
he was just
scene.
talking. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
so
And
I'm
they're
like,
just-
he's tripping,
yeah.
like he's exaggerating. But then when he comes back on and he says, I found out that he slept with him, I'm like, okay, Corey has all rights to go crazy right now.
But my thing is, why would Corey approach someone and be like, oh, hey, did you sleep with my man?
Yeah, instead of
That's a
asking
little
his man
bizarre.
first.
Yeah.
Like that's
That's
who's
like
to
when he
say-
first
that
jumped
guy
in.
owes him no loyalty. So who is to say he's even telling the truth?
I would honestly ask my boyfriend first.
Right, you wanna go
than
to the
trusting
girl.
someone else. So can you, Matt, do you
But
have
even
any?
the way they handled it, like it was so rude. I mean, name calling each other, and I'm
know,
like,
I just,
They're-
they
They're
need to,
volatile.
everyone on the show, can you take a breather in like 5 seconds
Seriously.
and say to yourself, give respect and don't judge.
Yeah.
And then follow up.
I mean-
and I think we would
Yeah.
be okay. But we also wouldn't have a show.
No.
So,
I mean, first of all, like, honestly, it's great TV, but I watch them and I'm like, you both need to go to like Alcoholics Anonymous. I mean, for real. Like, really, like, because I've seen that, like, they're just, like, especially Murray. Murray, yes. Murray's the one who was flirting. Yes,
Yes, him.
I get both of them confused because they both
They
have
look
the
alike.
arched
They're
eyebrows.
exact-
They have
I
the
know.
same
They look
eyebrows.
alike. Yeah,
where
Elizabeth,
they
I
always
think,
look like they're kind of
explained
judging you, but it's just their eyebrows.
Yeah.
But yeah, because Murray is like he is one of those people I feel like when he takes one drink, he kind of can't stop, and I'm like, that's a problem. But look, first of all, you're gay guys. Like, I mean, and you're at the Abbey. I mean, I was years ago, but the last time I went to the Abbey, I like made out with two guys at the same time and got strep throat. I'm not kidding. That's a real story. Like, it totally happened when I was like 25. It's been a long time since I've been there. But so like,
Wild.
yeah, it was. But also too, like, your boyfriend works. You're gonna get upset at your boyfriend for talking to another shirtless guy in West Hollywood.
I know.
That's like, oh my gosh, we're at like a pool party in Vegas and you talk to a girl in a swimsuit, like.
Yeah, and I think too, it's like I think also they have such a great history with each other, and I think maybe there was incidents along the way, and now it's like constantly like salt in the wound for Corey.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like Corey's not letting things go from the past. You know what I mean?
They're not fighting about the present. They're fighting about the past.
Yeah,
You are so
and
right.
they're not just moving on
And even
from a
if he
situation.
right, like even if he did sleep with somebody else, okay, like
Yeah,
you
you
guys
have-
were broken up, like
Did he sleep with the shirtless guy like while they were dating, or was it something?
That's
that
what
was,
I didn't know.
I
I'm
don't
not
really
sure.
know, but from what I understand was when they were on a break.
Okay, and that doesn't really.
Oh, it's Ross and
Yeah.
Rachel. They were
That's
on a
what
break.
that's what I got. I mean, I'm not going to speak for them, but that's
Yes.
what I understood.
Is when they were,
so
yeah.
weird.
When they were on a break.
So see,
Yeah.
now I really am like, if they were on a break,
I mean,
like,
yeah. I mean, I'm not. I don't
if
want
they
them
were
to
on
yell
a
at me,
break,
so
then
I'm
like
gonna get the
Corey,
story
I'm
wrong.
not Team Corey on this. I feel like,
Yeah.
I mean, not that Murray handled
yeah.
it, but then but last episode though, like Murray was out of control, you know. So
Yes.
it's like, I think you
I
just
just-
nailed it on the head. I think they literally are fighting about
Yeah.
past trauma, and honestly too, like it's hard when you as you know, when you love somebody. And I'm imagining just knowing you that you and Laptop Johnny probably didn't speak to each other that way. But still, when they're doing that, and then it's like too, it's like I don't know why, but all my friends that my group of gays that I'm friends with, pretty much all look like all the guys here in the Abbey. And and I've noticed that like some of them, this is so shallow, but it's so true. Like you love somebody, but then also like my friends would tell me about this guy. I'm like, why are you with him? And they're like, because his ass is amazing. You know what I mean? Like when somebody's really good looking too, like, and they both,
Yeah.
obviously that's important to them
Yeah.
as
There's
well.
a strong
I mean,
physical
they're dating their
attraction.
twin.
They are dating
You know what I mean?
themselves.
So like,
No,
let's just
like,
call it as
honest
we
to
see
God,
it.
I thought they were brothers or something
Yeah.
at first. So I just need to know, do you hope that they work it out? Everyone on here, do you hope that they, I mean, you
I won't-
probably know.
Do I know? I mean, yeah, I know, but
I
they're
hope they
so
work
cute
it out.
together.
They are cute together.
They are cute.
when they're good.
Yeah.
It's true.
But they just have so much issues going on.
I don't know if it's repairable.
Exactly.
It's
I
too
just wish
much.
one of them would have like been a little bit more mature about it. Like if somebody was like, let's say I'm dating a guy and he's cussing. First of all, a guy would never cuss me out. But I mean, like, say
Amen.
that does
Amen.
happen. I'm not gonna go cuss him out as well and make this entire scene in
Yeah.
public. You know, I'll just calm down, walk away, and then we'll talk about it later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt like one of them should have done that rather than scream at each other back and forth.
Yeah.
I think they try, but I don't think it works out.
I
for them.
appreciate
Yeah.
what they did, like in the conversation that they had. It was still a little heated in their apartment. I think they need to have a lot of conversations where they're not drinking,
Yes.
and I think they probably also need to take some time where they're just like, especially Murray. I'm like, let's have a period of like sobriety.
Murray likes to go out and party,
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
even in a bad way, but he likes to go out more. And believe it or not, Corey is more of like reserved and more of like a homebody.
Are they the same age or is Corey older?
I don't know.
Because I feel like, sorry, Corey, you're beautiful,
If
but
you
you
guys
do
can
look
let
a little
us
old. I don't
know.
mean that in a bad way. But I don't think it's going to work out because honestly, I feel like there's so much trust that is broken. And if somebody, look, I love my boyfriend very much. And I know he loves me. But if he is flirting, like, there's a difference of being a flirty personality and acting flirty, which
acting on it?
Murray has
Yeah.
done. And like, I don't want to act. We've all been in relationships. Do you want to really flirt with somebody if you're truly in love and
No.
committed to the person?
No.
No.
Then there's your answer, Corey.
True.
So like,
Yeah.
let it go, girl. Like, just y'all be at
You
peace.
sound like Murray. Murray always says, "Let it go, girl."
I know.
Well, we say girl a lot,
Well,
but they are pretty together.
I know. I hope
They
they
are.
can
They're so
figure
cute.
it out in any way, shape, or form. Please. I feel like we covered.
No, we didn't cover a lot
my
of
God,
things.
go.
Can we just
I
talk
wanna
about
talk-
like the last scene with like Marissa and Kyle?
That's
Oh,
what.
yes.
Yo,
Yes.
you weren't off the hook,
Yes,
girl.
let's do that.
You, we
Okay.
saved
Yes,
the best for
let's go.
last, like a Vanessa Williams
do it.
song.
Here we go.
I love it.
Round them up.
So,
What do you have to say about
yeah,
it?
like,
Everyone's like ready to go.
I know,
Okay.
like,
Matt
go, tell me.
was like
You
very
totally-
sure. He was like, we didn't cover it, so cover it.
you totally reminded me of like, totally like 5th, 6th grade. Where like, you're just like, you can't stop just touching one another. I mean, because the way you were just like,
hugging,
and you,
yeah.
but you were still giving him crap about grabbing other people's butts. Like, we didn't see in the dark, but like, y'all were totally making out, right?
Oh no, we were not making
No.
out.
Bible.
Really?
Bible.
Bye.
We're not making out.
Wow.
They were just very 6th grade. Like you were
Yeah.
right.
You're
We were not making
you're
out.
kind of a slow goer, right? Like I loved it when you wouldn't let him touch your butt.
I know you
I
said
respect
no.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No.
No,
that's
I'm
not
telling you,
happening.
you're the light. You're the light.
Ain't
So,
not happening.
so like was
To me, I felt like this. This is how I feel.
Okay.
If I
Okay.
want, I'm a relationship girl. I would like to be in relationships. Okay, well, if I do a little rendezvous in the bedroom with some guy, he's really not going to take me seriously. So I
True.
feel like I gotta lay down the laws and like, no, if you want to date me, you have to court me and be respectful and take me out on a date and not be grabbing that girl's ass and in the bedroom with the other
Exactly.
girl. Like, no, like that's not happening.
I really
Yeah.
think you're gonna teach Kyle like a lot of lessons on how to treat women.
I
Like,
know.
I want
I
every
think
woman
it's a
listening to that to
combo.
rewind that 15 seconds and listen
and
to
listen
that
to it
again.
again.
I know.
That's some truth.
Because he's not gonna take me seriously. He wouldn't.
Yes.
And if he's like this big playboy and all this kind of stuff, okay, well, you know, like he says he can have someone at his house in 30 minutes or less. Okay, have fun. That's
So,
not gonna be me.
Did
Yeah.
you know
I'm on
Kyle
the
said the
hotline.
pizza stuff? Like, did you
No,
know that before?
I had
Okay.
no idea.
So what did you do when you saw that?
Yeah.
Did you like
I was
say-
like, you know what? My gut was right. I was like, I knew it. I was like, you know what? He goes back and forth of being like this super nice guy to me,
Yeah.
and the next thing you know, he's like, you know, disrespectful in some ways, and it's just so like back and forth. And I think that's why I was so confused. So like hearing that, I'm like, okay, like I was confused for like a valid reason in my gut.
So do we think that like, and I know you maybe can't comment fully on this,
Yeah.
but I would love it if you did. With Kyle, like, do we think Kyle has a really good heart, but he's also caught up in that like, because I also feel like, look, like even I think I was listening to the last AfterBuzz show.
Yes.
Several people were like, I forgot. I think it was maybe Tessa. It was like, I think Kyle's totally gay, and so I'm sure he gets.
Someone else asked me
And
that.
somebody else said too, like, and I'm sure he gets that all the time because he works at the Abbey, and like, and they were talking about him and Billy working out, which I thought was just bromancy
That was
to me.
so funny.
Yeah.
How they,
I
like,
don't think he's gay,
No.
and I have pretty good gaydar, but. So, but like, do we think like this kind of macho, like pizza bull stuff? Like, do we think that does Kyle have a good heart, but he's like trying to like be a dude because who works at the Abbey, or is he kind of a jerk?
I actually think he has a good heart. He just
Same.
puts up this front.
Yep. He does
And I
have a
think
good
you're
heart.
gonna change him.
He
I
does
do
have a
too.
good heart.
Yeah.
He's been always very kind to me, in some respects, I guess. But as time goes on, you'll see like certain things happen.
Yeah, sure.
We see some trailers or some previews. You were upset.
I know.
Yeah, and then I
Wow.
also think that Kyle is used to easy women. Like
Yes.
he's
Me too. I
Oh,
think he
yeah,
is easy
for
as just
sure.
a woman be like, okay, no problem, Kyle. Oh, and I think I was the
Exactly.
first woman to tell him like no.
so he doesn't know how to
And-
treat you.
And
Yeah.
then he was like, okay, like wait a minute.
But it's
What's
like
going
fun
on?
'cause it's
Yeah.
new,
I mean, he
so
looks like a
likes it.
Disney prince, y'all. Come on,
He's
like
gorgeous.
yeah, and
He
then
is.
he's also got like, because I know if he was my bartender, I would totally like flirt with him as well because
Yeah.
that's like gay man's dream to bet a straight man. Sadly,
No, he's so cute.
So,
I
like,
actually,
he's getting all this.
No, he's so cute and like he's so like he'll do like little things. Like one time I lost my sunglasses and I was so upset about them. Like they were Ray-Bans, they were gold, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh Marissa, I found your sunglasses. He didn't really find them though, but he
bought them.
for me.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I like Kyle now. That was
I
so
think he has a
sweet.
really
Now I
sweet
wanna
heart.
say
Kyle,
something.
I'm on
It
your
was
team
so
now.
sweet. No, it was so, I'm like, and I felt like, okay, I don't want to like accept a gift because I don't want
Yeah.
to think like, you
That
know,
we're
I
okay-
owe
yeah.
him something, you know. But
Yeah.
it wasn't like that, and he was so
That's
cute.
so
But
nice.
he does like
That
little cute
is
things.
so
Like, and
okay,
then
I would let him grab my ass after that. If it came in class.
Well, no, that happened like.
Oh, okay,
I-
okay.
That's like that didn't happen on.
I
I'm
gotcha.
glad glasses. I was like, you
I'm
could
glad-
buy me like a Dr. Pepper, and I'd be like, sure.
I know he's
I mean,
very kind like that.
Definitely
to
not
me.
Marissa.
He was very kind to me. He really wasn't disrespectful to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like he never really said anything like at least to my face.
But that's also because you come off as a very respectful girl. Like, you
you
respect
do.
your way, so
Yeah.
you demand respect, you know?
So he never really said anything, but like hearing stuff back, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Is there anyone? And I get maybe you probably won't be able to answer this question.
Okay. I'm trying my best. I feel like
Is there
we're doing
anyone?
so much.
I know. I love this. Is there anyone that you would So 2 questions.
Okay.
Is there anyone you wish that you hadn't gotten as close to on the show, and is there anyone you wished you would have gotten closer to on the show? Can you? I don't know. Can she answer that? I don't know.
I can't answer that.
That's what I want to know. I'm gonna call you when this is over. I don't have your number. Whatever. I'm gonna Instagram.
We'll exchange it.
Okay.
No, I can't answer that. But you have to remember too, like when I first started filming, I literally just moved to LA, so I really didn't know them as much as they all knew each other. Like when I'm the new, I really am. Like they have all these like relationships from that were ongoing way before I got there. So for me, just to kind of be involved, I really didn't know like who's really on what team, like what's going on, who's on that ally. You know, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I think even just moving forward in life, like even like present day, things have very much evolved and the dynamic has very much changed. But I think you'll kind of see that.
You would be a good politician. That was a good answer.
I think you'll see that more though towards the
I'm
end.
excited. That's exciting.
How many
You'll be
episodes
like,
are there?
You're gonna be like, wait a minute, it's 7.
7.
There's 7 episodes.
Oh,
so
so
you'll
next
see
week we're
like
halfway in.
So 3, okay.
So we're very I feel
Close.
like it's
we're
getting.
halfway.
I feel like for-
this episode is like starting to
more.
really heat things up.
Yeah,
Like it's
it gets
really
intense.
starting to excite me.
Can we maybe end it with a
Yeah,
prediction?
yeah. I was
I
gonna
wa-
say we're
yeah.
getting a little close to time, so we're gonna
sorry.
start just
Yeah.
Prediction. I know.
Prediction.
I really want the finale. Can we fly your mother here and you and your
I
mother
know.
come?
No, my mom. She's coming here next month.
Oh my gosh. I'm
We
just
have
saying.
to.
That would be a good show.
That'd be a great show.
What are your
I
predictions?
feel like my predictions.
Yeah.
My predictions. Oh God. I honestly, this is my number one. I just really hope that Corey and Murray come to some agreement for something where they can move past it, either together or not. But I just hope that
I don't think that's gonna. I'm like shaking my head, like, no, girl. I don't think that's gonna happen
That's
for a
like
while.
my one thing that I can honestly say I want to see happen.
I think Billy and Ashley will end up hooking up.
Okay.
And I think Murray and Corey will break up. And I think Kyle and Marissa will end up taking it to the next level. Those
There
are
we
my
go.
predictions. What are
That's
yours?
a lot.
I know.
I love it. No, I love it.
I just said Billy and Ashley. That'd be like having sex with a redwood. You couldn't even like wrap your hands around it. He's so huge. I think my predictions are actually this is my hope. I think for Elizabeth and Kim it's gonna go real bad. I mean, we saw a little bit in the next week. I think that, it's so helpful if Kim is coming through that coming out process. I did that alone, and I know a lot of people that did it alone and the people that had other people, and it's so helpful when you have somebody that you can talk to like that in open space. So I hope that they end up keep their friendship no matter what happens with that. I think Corey and Marr are going to go down they're going to make up, and then they're going to go down a black hole. And I actually think you and Kyle might take it to the next level.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to be the LC of this show. Lauren Conrad. I think you're going to end up going your own way and doing your own thing. Lauren Conrad, if you don't know LC, then I can't talk to you. But that's what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
What are your predictions?
I
You
can't
can't.
predict anything. I can't.
I know you
I mean,
can't.
I wish I could even come up with something for you guys, but
And I know you can.
What was your favorite
I
episode?
can't. Well, I've only seen 3. I've only previewed 3 episodes in advance.
Okay.
So I don't know what episode 4, 5, 6, or 7 looks like.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's exciting.
What is your family's reaction and everything back home and friends?
You know, honestly, I feel like my mom, of course, loves episode 2. She's like, oh my gosh. And she says, people let's be honest, people say, oh, reality's fake. And, my mom's like, that's really how we are, Marissa.
No.
I'm like,
Your mom,
I know.
that is real. That is
we're
real.
100% real. And
That
I
was,
can tell.
really, our relationship.
Yeah, it
and,
was
how
super
she
sweet.
acts. She's super animated. So, I think that... What was my question? Where was I going with this? I don't know.
Just how your family and friends.
Oh, my family,
Yeah.
friends. And then I think my family is super supportive.
That's great.
And I think that overall, everyone does say, Marissa, you really did stay like very true to yourself.
That's
I could see
Yeah.
that, yeah.
So I think that everyone's like, I'm proud that you, through all of this, like you really tried hard,
That's awesome.
you know, to stay. I'm like, okay, Dad, you can stop watching the show now.
I know. Oh
Yeah,
my
don't
God,
watch the
my
rest.
dad
And
would
like
murder
they
me.
stalk like my social media. I'm like, oh guys, this picture appropriate? I'm like, oh no. I'm like, Dad, don't watch.
Aw, that's great. Well, thank you so much for joining
Yeah.
us,
Thank
Marissa.
you.
I
It was
really,
great
like,
You really
having
are the real deal.
appreciate
For
it.
people watching at home that think this is fake, like we've just spent an hour with her. She's the real deal.
sweetest, and
Yeah, this
just
was
like
great.
you see on TV, there's nothing different. So
Aw,
thank you so much.
guys.
Where can they?
It's so much fun.
Where can they find you on social media and
So,
everything?
Marissa, Faith, across the board, because my last name is Chykirda, and no one knows how to spell that, which I understand. So it's just Marissa, and then Faith, Faith, which is legally my middle name.
Awesome. And Matt, where can they find you?
Yeah, Matt Marr, 2 T's, 2 R's. You can find me and my podcast, The Dear Maddie Show, and TV Tea Time at mattmarr.tv or at social media, The Matt Marr, because somebody else already took it and I had a good D. Sorry.
And I'll make it short and simple for you guys. You can find all of my social media links on guinwaz.com.
Again, I'm Sarah Serio. Thanks so much for watching. Follow me on Twitter at Sarah Serio. Have a great week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.